process of digestion in humans. Humans consume between 1.1 and 2.7 kilograms of food each day in the entire world. That works out to more than 365 kilograms annually and a total of more than 28,800 kilograms throughout the course of a lifetime for each person. Likewise, every last scrap passes through the digestive tract. The function of the digestive system, which consists of several interconnected organs, is to break down or digest the food we eat. One of the most complex and diverse systems in the human body, the digestive system is made up of more than 8 organs that span 9 meters and contain over 20 types of specialized cells. Its components continuously cooperate to carry out the task of converting the inert components of your meal into the nutrition and energy that sustain you. Parts of the alimentary canal description and functions. The mouth. Beginning in the mouth is digestion. When food enters the mouth, it is chewed into small pieces by the teeth, creating a huge surface area for the enzymes to work on. The tongue. The tongue gives food its flavor, aids in twisting and combining food with saliva in the mouth, and forms food into boluses to make swallowing easier. The saliva. Saliva combines with food to start the process of converting it into a form that can be absorbed and utilized by your body. Food is rolled into a bolus by the tongue rolling movement and saliva flow. Your food then arrives at the pharynx. The pharynx. The area where the nasal passageways and mouth cavity converge is muscular. It is short and wide in a man. The pharynx connects to the esophagus and trachea. The esophagus. It is often known as the gullet and it is a long, narrow, straight tube that connects to the stomach through the thoracic cavity and the diaphragm. Here, digestion does not occur. However, it is utilized to move food substances into the stomach by a process known as peristalsis, which involves waves of muscle contraction and relaxation. Every part of the human alimentary canal moves in this way. The esophagus's peristaltic movement transports food that has been chewed to the stomach. The stomach. The majority of us consume our food in just a few minutes, but digestion can take hours. Hormones generated by cells in the lining cause the stomach wall to release acids and liquids rich in enzymes that start dissolving the food and break down its proteins.
In order to prepare for the following phase, these hormones also signal the pancreas, liver, and gallbladder to make digestive fluids and move bile, a yellowish-green liquid that breaks down fat. Gastric juice, hydrochloric acid, water, mucus, pepsin, and renin are all secreted by the human stomach and continue the process of breaking down food. 2 enzymes, pepsin and renin, as well as hydrochloric acid, continue the breakdown of food in the stomach. The stomach is where protein digestion in our diet starts. Milk is curdled by renin, while protein is transformed into peptones by pepsin. Food may stay in the stomach for 3 to 4 hours before being transformed into chyme, which is a semi-liquid paste. A broad ring of circular, smooth muscle surrounds the esophagus to stomach junction, blocking the passage of food from the esophagus into the stomach. Gastric gland cells located in the deep folds of the stomach lining release. The stomach's contents are rolled around during contractions of its smooth muscles, combining partially digested food with enzymes and acids. Chyme is pushed toward the end of the stomach by the peristaltic movements of the stomach walls. The pyloric sphincter, which is a different sphincter muscle that controls how food travels from the stomach to the intestine, briefly relaxes as a result of these peristalsis waves, allowing a tiny amount of chyme to enter the small intestine. This causes our stomach to gradually empty itself over the course of roughly 3 to 4 hours. Storing food until it can be digested is one of the crucial jobs that our stomachs perform. Killing the germs that we unknowingly eat with our diet is another purpose. The small intestine. The small intestine is where most digestion and absorption of food that has been digested takes place. Chyme is moved by peristalsis from the duodenum into the jejunum, the next region of the small intestine, and lastly into the ileum over the course of 3 to 6 hours. The liver secretes bile during this time through the bile duct into the small intestine. The duodenum, often known as the first part of the small intestine, receives bile from the liver through the gallbladder. Here, it breaks large fats floating in the slurry of chyme into small droplets which enzymes in the small intestine can act upon. Pancreatic juice, secreted by the pancreas, enters the small intestine through the pancreatic duct. Pancreatic juice contains enzymes that are responsible for converting fats into fatty acids and glycerol, proteins into amino acids, and sugars and starches into simple sugars. Glands in the intestinal walls secrete additional enzymes that break down starches and complex sugars into nutrients that the intestine absorbs. Structures called Brunner's glands secrete mucus to protect the intestinal walls from the acid effects of digestive juices. This happens in the inner walls of the small intestine, which are coated in millions of finger-like projections called villi and microvilli. The importance of villi and microvilli is that they create a huge surface area to maximize molecule absorption by about 150 times. Beneath the villi's single layer of cells are capillaries, tiny vessels, of the bloodstream and the lymphatic system. These capillaries allow nutrients produced by digestion to travel to the cells of the body. A watery residue of indigestible food and digestive juices remains unabsorbed. This residue leaves the ileum of the small intestine and moves by peristalsis into the large intestine, where it spends 12 to 24 hours. The large intestine forms an inverted U over the coils of the small intestine. It starts on the lower right-hand side of the body and ends on the lower left-hand side. What's left is a soft mass called stool. The colon squeezes this byproduct into a pouch called the rectum. The rectum stores the feces, waste material that consists largely of undigested food, digestive juices, bacteria, and mucus until elimination. The nerves sense it expanding and tell the body when it's time to expel the waste. Then, muscle contractions in the walls of the rectum push the feces toward the anus. When sphincters between the rectum and anus relax, the feces pass out of the body and the food's long journey is finally complete. The large intestine serves several important functions. It absorbs water, about 6 liters, 1.6 gallons, daily, as well as dissolves salts from the residue passed on by the small intestine. In addition, bacteria in the large intestine promote the breakdown of undigested materials and make several vitamins, notably vitamin K, which the body needs for blood clotting. Evaluation 1. Explain the process of digestion in humans. 2. List parts of the alimentary canal. Thanks for watching this episode of Discover Agrobiology. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.